The Republican Party looking to regain ground in Arizona with President Trump's choices taking their prizes in the swing states' primary elections on Tuesday night. U.S. Representative Andy Biggs easily winning the Republican nomination to try ousting Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs. Biggs, and his competitor David Schweikert are leaving their House seats, which could impact the balance of power in Washington. Former Arizona Cardinals kicker Jay Feely won the Republican primary to replace Schweikert, and he will face off against Democratic former state representative Amish Shah come November. Then, controversial former sheriff Mark Lamb won the Republican nomination to replace Biggs. President Trump endorsed Lamb despite a recent sexting scandal and alleged threat against one of the women said to be involved. All of this coming as Trump heads to another crucial swing state later today. That's going to be Georgia. For more on everything, let me bring back in TheHill.com's White House correspondent, Julia Manchester. Julia, a lot to go over here. Let's start with Arizona. These races are showing the true power of the Trump endorsement, just like we've seen in several other states. All of the Trump-endorsed candidates coasting to an easy victory in Republican primaries. What does it say that trend, though, carried over into a swing state like Arizona that backed Biden in 2020, but then Trump in 2024?
Well, I don't think that necessarily says much. It's a Republican primary, and we know that President Trump's endorsement has a lot of strength in a Republican primary. So the question is, though, how does this translate into the general election? Is the Trump endorsement, strong enough in a general election? We already know that Trump's endorsement is strong with the Republican primary base, which turns out during these primaries maybe lower than in presidential years, but it still turns out. So the big question, though, does President Trump's endorsement help or hurt these Republicans in general elections in swing states like Arizona?
Yeah, and what's your prediction there? Because since President Trump started endorsing candidates, not a single Republican that he endorsed has lost a statewide primary in Arizona, but only one of them has gone on to win a statewide general election. And because of that, Democrats now have both Senate seats and the governor's office. So does his endorsement actually carry as much weight in Arizona, you think? And what are your predictions for November?
I mean, it's hard to tell. I think President Trump is very unpopular. There is, a lot of polling that shows his approval rating in the 30s. We know that Democrats are not afraid to tie their Republican opponents to President Trump. I thought it was interesting hearing Congressman Ted Lieu, a Democrat from California, yesterday saying, send President Trump to every swing district. We would love that. We don't really know yet, but it seems that it's going to be a tough year for Republicans, not only because they're facing historical headwinds and that the party in power in the White House typically loses the first midterm election cycle of a president's term, but you're also seeing President Trump is deeply unpopular. You're seeing inflation continuing to be a burden on Americans. You're seeing the war in Iran, very unpopular. Gas prices back up at $4 a gallon. So there's certainly an uphill climb for Republicans.
Yeah, and you think about Biggs and Schweikert both leaving, these House seats to run for the governor's race. How is that going to all impact balance of power and also just Trump's agenda moving forward for his last couple of years?
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't have Biggs and the Schweikert's House seats in front of me. So, it depends on how popular or unpopular they are and how swingy those House districts are. But look, it's like, the Republicans have a very narrow majority in the House. So, a lot of, forecasts we've seen forecast Democrats to take a very narrow majority in the House come November. So them leaving those House seats, I guess, could be seen as a risk.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.